Shalom Israel, first phone, everyone to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kadash, born to the apostles, and God's great millstone for teaching us truth. Peace and blessings to the whole life of Israel. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Hebrew, by Hashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the Begotten Son. Back on the lesson, and today we're going to go into another MOTB update, dealing with Cognify, which I have a couple of videos to get, and all the brothers have made lessons, diving into it. I also want to speak on, add my 2 cents, because this is steps towards the MOTB, and you best believe people are going to be hopping on board with this, because they're especially going to be promoting this in the name of safety, convenience, because you're going to have a lot of deception going out, especially coming to these last days, surrounding this MOTB, this charagma, So I do want to play these couple of videos that I got. I may skim a little bit through some of them, just to get the point I want. And I get an article also, took a little more in depth into it, and get a couple scriptures. And Lord's blessing will be edifying in just one, because hey, the foundation is being laid out, man, and it should be crystal clear by now with what the MOTB is. And if you can't get it, hey, there's a problem.
Scientists want to implant prisoners with their victims' memories and have developed a way of speeding up prison time in the process. Cognify would treat prisoners like patients, implanting artificial memories and the trauma of experiencing their own crimes from the perspective of the victim. They also suggest that the fake memories could be used to treat people suffering from memory loss or PTSD. Scientists want to implant prisoners.
And hey, once again, we're speaking of Esau Edom here, the wicked the Bible speaks of in Malachi 1 and 4. So obviously, nothing so-called good will come from this. But you're going to have many people, see the benefits in this, especially, prisoners that have been doing time or are going to do times. They're going to see this, and they're wanting to, take it. They're going to see that they don't have to spend 10 years, 15 years, whatever the case may be, when they can just, take this and pretty much have a much easier, so-called time.
So they coming up with a new prison that allows inmates to serve years of their sentence.
Because they once again, they're going to push this in the name of so-called convenience, man.
In just a matter of minutes. So the criminals is going to have a choice to spend tens of years behind bars, or they can make the choice to get the artificial memory implanted into their brain. So,
and as I brought up the point where, we're speaking of the wicked, Esau Edom here, so him, pushing out obviously nothing, good's gonna come from it. Them implanting memories, in your brain. What makes you think that would do any good, Well, sure, in this sense right here, they can, make them feel remorseful, whatever the case may be. But so you can imagine, the possibilities, with that. Especially, speaking of the wicked men, with how their mind operates.
This process is called Cognify. And the intent of it is to treat the criminal like a patient. They're going to try to change the person's brain chemistry. After this process, when they re-enter society, they will be new and reformed. And they won't even be capable of committing any other crime.
To a pretty much controlled. And one thought comes to mind, MK Ultra. If you know anything about that,
The chip can make the patient feel empathetic.
So, pretty much like, brainwashing.
Depending on the severity of the crime, the chip can also make you feel the emotional and physical pain of the victim and the family members. You can feel what they felt. So the process only takes about 7 minutes. But to the patient, it seemed like it had been years. Last year, the U.S. government spent $8.7 billion taxpayers' dollars on the prison.
There you go.
They say with this new prison, they can save money for help.
All right, see those videos.
This is wild. Cognify is a new concept for prison reform where criminals would have the choice to choose between spending tens of years behind bars or instead opt to have AI artificial memories implanted into their brain. The idea is to treat criminals like patients. And
so yeah, you're going to be presented with a choice. Obviously one, sounds, so-called better, easier. So you already know the choice that many people are going to run with.
change their brain chemistry by implanting these artificial memories so that when they re-enter society, they are a new and completely reformed person who mentally cannot commit any more crimes. The way that it works is that depending on the severity of the crime, AI would design these false memories to be implanted that would make the person more empathetic, or in some circumstances, make them physically and emotionally feel the pain of their victims and their victims' families. Even though this process only takes about 7 minutes, to the subject, it would feel like it had been years.
So it's kind of similar to what we just played in another video. This is a concept that uses AI to create artificial memories that are implanted into prisoners' brains. The goal is to help prisoners rehabilitate faster and reintegrate into society. The concept based on real science, including research on implanting false memories in mice. And you also see the many experiments, trials that these devils do on these, animals, which, same thing with a Neuralink. All these tests on these monkeys, and you had an article come out. Tons of those monkeys that went under those trials, those experiments, ended up dead. So you can imagine the terrible things Esau Edom did. I got one more video and we'll get this article.
So this is proper crazy shit. You Google it. It's called Cognify Prison Rehabilitation. It's cross between sort of Total Recall and Demolition Man. What they do, they're planning to do this in the States. They put an AI chip in your brain and they sort of put you to...
So there you go. Revelation 13:16, I'm marking the forehead.
Sleep, I'm assuming, and it plays sort of like it reprograms your brain to think differently, to learn your new skills.
And then going back to the description, those signs and lying wonders, how many people were deceived into hopping on board with these things, to taking it, man. Not only within prison, but also out here. You already see the promises that Elon Musk is pushing out, that you can listen to music within your brain, you can do this, you can do that. So a lot of people already want to hop on board with it, man.
Basically, you can get, when you've done a crime, you can either opt for normal prison or you can opt for this Cognify therapy. And basically, they put you in a chamber, strap all this stuff to your head, and then they reprogram and train your brain so that it's almost like you're asleep for your 10 years or your 15 years or your 5 years or whatever, and it trains you and teaches you to be a decent person again.
But there you go. Now I'll really get into this article and just get the point, because pretty much you're speaking on the same thing. We just played with the video, and that's the prison of the future. Criminals could get a false memory implants. The futuristic prison that focuses on rehabilitation by embedding new memories. If you're a sci-fi fanatic, you have definitely seen a somewhat over-exaggerated conceptualization, if I'm saying it correctly, of the future, including flying cars everywhere, everyone swapping their daily clothing items, or robotic suits, advancements in AI. I'm just scrolling through. It says, while some of those have come to life, others are still on their way to becoming reality from a concept. Among them is Cognify, a rehabilitation facility conceptualized to replace traditional prisons by embedding artificial memories by permanently in addition to an individual's own experiences. It pretty much goes into what we just play with in those videos. But let's get these a couple scriptures. Because about that point, you're seeing the foundation, the infrastructure being laid out right before your very eyes. That's Revelation 13:16. And it says, and he called to both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their forehead. And it's also important to look into the etymology of these words so you know what the scripture is talking about. And go into that word mark, goes to the, in the Greek, goes into the word charagma, which then goes to the word etch, scratch. So it's showing it's a physical mark. And you have these other camps pushing, promoting that the MOTB spiritual, that sin itself is just completely off. But it says to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. You see in Neuralink, demon in the head. Elon Musk, continue to make more updates with it. Human trial runs have already begun, a while ago. You all see similar companies, following in suit, creating similar things to that Neuralink. And people are already taking, things like the Neuralink already. You have the one girl on TikTok call herself Chip Girl. And uses a C-hip to open her car door, her house door, and I believe other things also. I believe she pays by the way of it too. So the steps are being taken, man. And as we just played within a couple of these videos, read an article going to Cognify, how that's also the steps toward this MOTB. As that dude said within the videos, it's a literal, implantation. And once you have many people be tempted into, hopping on board with it. Like brother pointed earlier, you have people that have, been doing time or not wanting to do time are gonna, step right up, get in line for it. Now, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, and very soon you won't be able to live a so-called normal life without it. Because his devil's gonna force your hand, he's gonna be tightening that grip. And you're gonna be forced to make a choice. And only one of those choices is correct, man. Which is not taking that thing. But you know how many of our people fall, for the temptation, the deception that's gonna go out, these signs and lying wonders. Because, even going back when Elon Musk was, thinking about, creating the Neuralink, he said you could listen to music within your brain, see holograms and all this stuff. And Jake was already hyped up to take it. You see how Jake is when it comes to these new shoes, the latest drops, the newest things. Jake always wants to be first in line. Especially for something like this. You're not knowing, you're pretty much getting a one-way ticket to death, man. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Because, as I brought up the point, we're seeing people are going to see the benefits in this. They're going to be pushing this in the name of so-called safety, convenience. Especially with the economy collapsing, to be pushing for something bigger, something better. A digitized currency. We're seeing many stores implementing more self-checkout aisles, and I believe Costco should have a membership program where you show a card or whatever, and now they're moving that towards a digitized system. So you see the route this place is heading, man. The MOTB should be crystal clear by now with what it is. There's no ifs or buts about what the MOTB is, man. And if you're still questioning it, then there's a problem, man. And something's wrong. Besides Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1, that says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and not right grievances which they have prescribed. As Revelation 13 and the 17th verse, going down, you won't be able to buy or sell without it. You won't be able to live a so-called normal life without it, man. Which is the devil's going to be applying that pressure to where you won't be able to go to your job, you won't be able to travel. Just how it went back in 2020, they implemented lockdowns. To travel, you need to have a green pass. And then people was on Thanksgiving, or what they call Thanksgiving today. They you held a checkpoint over there in New York or something, and you need to show proof of verification that you've been tested. If you had the 19 or not, if you were positive. So now imagine when it comes to the MOTB, man. This is how you had the MASK mandate. People were fined and jailed over that. People wanted to have the juice to go to their job, in certain places. And that was nothing but a trial run, a pop quiz. So if you failed the pop quiz, if you failed the trial run, imagine when the test is here, man. Because you had many Israelites that knew this truth, that went up and ended up taking that juice, man, that concoction that Esau cooked up. So imagine when it comes to this MOTB, man. Because they cracked under pressure then, imagine now. Because he doesn't go 10 times harder, man. And you'll be presented with a choice. As we read here one more time, going to the decree and righteous decrees, and that right grievances which they have prescribed, going to draconian-like laws. That word draconian goes to harsh, strict. These strict laws to be implemented, pushing out. As we just brought up a few examples back in 2020. The lockdown, the checkpoints, the green pass you need to travel. the juice you'd have to go to your job. Now imagine with the MOTB. Because that was nothing but an example, a prelude of what this devil's getting ready to do, man. Psalm 17:13. And I said, "Rise, the Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Who is the wicked? Speaking of Malachi 1:4, Esau, Edom. And he's getting ready to crack down, man. And the Lord should be swinging that sword, especially upon you Jakes, man. Remember in time, "Rise, Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." And what makes you think this devil's doing this, for the greater good of mankind? We're speaking of the wicked, man. Esau, Edom. The devil the Bible speaks of. So you can imagine the things that they can, implant within your mind, even with the regular, neural link. Not speaking of the prison one that they plan on pushing out, whether it may be the same one or not. You can imagine the things that they can, put within your head. The flip, or it's like the switch that can flip within you. Where you can only think one thing and, follow, the orders that you're being given, whatever the case may be. Just giving examples. As the rise, Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So once this devil's getting ready to crack down, and the Lord's going to be swinging that sword, man. In Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Now, as if fear none of the things thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast you into prison, that ye may be tried. So you're going to be persecuted, or be despised for not, taking this thing, man. Even go back to year 2020, dealing when the juice was being pushed out, people called you selfish, crazy. You don't want to help the people around. You don't care about your loved ones, yada, yada, yada. And yet, look at all the information that came out about the juice. Even these devils had came out and told you that it was bad. That all the side effects that came from it. And we've been telling you these things. This is why you're going to get inscription, man, in Ezekiel 33 and 33. You have to know that a prophet has been known, that they have been warned, that they've been told. Because very soon you're going to have people lining up to take this thing, man. Whether it be within prison, whether it be in the outside world, or outside of prison, people are going to be lining up. Even more so within those prisons, man. People not wanting to do 10, 15, 20 years. Now, the fear of none things thou shalt suffer, and we may even be presented with that, man, because as we're reading right here, fear none things thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast you into prison, that ye may be tried. Because you're going to have brothers being jailed, imprisoned. But as you can see right here, and you shall have tribulation 10 days, be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life, which is a reward at the end of that finish line, man, if we endure. But once then, the devil's going to be applying that pressure. You're going to be presented with a choice, man. But it says that you even be tried, shall tribulation 10 days, going a certain period of time. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. But you're just going to that point, we're going to be persecuted. For denying this thing, for not wanting to bow down to this beast system. That's why you're going to have, brothers being, jailed, thrown to these FEMA camps, Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because, as I brought up the point, it doesn't be, tightening the agreement and applying that pressure. Your job's going to be on the line. Your life is going to be on the line, man. And you're having your Jakes that's going to end up choosing so-called life, taking that charagma, that MOTB, which is the RFID C-HIP, if you do not know already. But in reality, they chose that, man. Revelation chapter 3%, because I was kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Which means mainly when that MOTB is presented in front of us, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So everyone's going to be faced with that choice, man. Let's get a few more. As Revelation chapter 14, 9 to 10, to go into the judgment that you will receive if you do take that charagma. Whether it may be the C-hip in the hand or in the forehead, man. It's going to go into it. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and how do you do that? By the way, receiving that charagma, that MOTB. Because that goes to show that you are in agreement. That you're making Esau Edom your God. And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. But it just goes to show how simple Jake is, man. They see you're able to listen to music within your brain, see holograms, and have cheats. Because there was also a video came out where you're, pretty much able to have cheats in the game, have an aimbot, pretty much. So you're gonna have people once to be deceived, tempted into taking these things, hopping on board along with it. Promoting it, especially a lot of these Israelite camps, man. And they're especially gonna have a choice, man. Are they going to continue to say that it's not the MOTB? Are they going to tell you to take it? Are they going to take it themselves? We have to see, Because a lot of these guys are being exposed, man. And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. And guess what? They have a lot of blood on their hands. And also another point, it says, or in his hand. Because Revelation 13 16 goes to how, it says in your right hand. And you have a lot of people try to use that as a loophole. Wow, what if I take in my left hand, do this and do that, trying to outwit and outsmart the Heavenly Father. Either hand you take in, you will be destroyed, man. That's it. His mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine wrath the Most High. But also, just come at this point, that mark in the forehead, you saw we would just, play with in field videos, articles, where they're able to, implement false memories and all this stuff. And especially things Elon Musk is creating and similar companies, or companies following suit, creating similar things, dealing with that mark in the forehead. So once the steps are being taken, man, like I brought the point multiple times after listening, it should be crystal clear by now with what the MOTB is. Now, as the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which poureth out mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. And that fire and brimstone is going to be, by the way, those thermonuclear missiles. And the presence of all the angels and the presence of the Lamb being Yahweh Shai. So, and you will be destroyed if you do take this thing, man. Whether it may be in your left hand, your right hand, your forehead, And I say your forehead, it's with your brain. These brain implants that they're promoting, pushing out. As is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 9. Brought this point up a few times after the lesson. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. You want to see the miracles. They're especially going to be pouring on the left hand side. Through this technology. Elon Musk is promising people that are paralyzed, people walking, people are blind, able to see. By connecting the neurons and all this stuff. Within your brain or body. We're going to talk one more time. Him is coming after working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Brought up people listening to music. You'll be able to listen to music within your brain and all the different so-called cool things that you're able to do. You don't need to carry your phone, laptop anymore because all of it's going to be within your mind. You can surf the web and do this and do that. Prison time will fly by and you'll be a new and better person. What's going to be pushing is the name of so-called safety, convenience, that this is better for you. But as is read in Revelation 14, 9 through 10, the outcome if you do take that. But just going back to that point, he will be deceived and tempted. Even who is counted the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. See if I missed anything. Excuse me. As Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 close out right here. I believe the point was made. Now, so for the vision is yet for an appointed time. What is that vision? Speaks of the signs, the prophecies. And we're in those appointed times, man. Going through just how close we are to the end of this place. Because this MOTB is full steam ahead. And it's at the door. The foundation, the infrastructure has been and is being laid out. It's getting closer and closer. But at the end, so speaking, I lie though. Terry, wait for it, because if you look up, Terry, meaning it will not delay. These things will happen and will come to pass. But that's the point right there. I saw a few brothers making lessons, going into this, and I want to add my 2 cents. It's always good to go into, these updates regarding, the MOTB. Because it's one of the major, end time prophecies, man. As you've seen the steps being made towards that. I saw what we just read within a few of these, or within this article and a few videos that we got, of the things they're planning to do within these prisons. And the things they're seeing, other articles, coming out regarding Elon Musk dealing with the Neuralink. See, the RFID chip is, one step closer. And that's the point right there. I don't want to, drag it out. The point was made. And also I got the point across. I do close out and give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, and Shalom. See you next one. Lord's will.